Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comic host of Bachelor Nation News. Happy Friday to everybody out there. Now, we've got a complicated story, getting more complicated. Aaron Clancy responded on Almost Famous podcast about this idea that he had multiple women he was dating before going on Bachelor in Paradise and after. And Genevieve, of course, the woman he fell in love with on the show, called him, choice words. And now we've got Reality Steve interviewing, quote-unquote, Beth, and she is the other woman who shared all the screen grabs, sort of exposing Aaron. It's kind of a he said, she said. There's no smoking gun or concrete evidence, but we're going to get into it right now. Follow me on Instagram at DNeals, patreon.com/Dave Neal. I got to tell you, today's the day you want to be on Patreon. I'll just put it that way. Last night I was at this ball. It was the who's who of irrelevant former reality personalities. Hey, but I was there too, so we're all in the same boat. No, I'm kidding. Everyone was a ton of fun. Red carpet event. There we see Justin Takes the Batch and Logan and Marlena and Rodney's there and Nate. There's a whole ton of people there last night. So I'm going to give you guys on the Patreon as much tea as I can share. I've already shared some things I probably shouldn't have, including somebody who might be getting sued by Bachelor producers. Some wild tea, of course, on the Patreon, patreon.com/Dave Neal. Right after this, I'll be live. Again, I'm not gonna open up all the books. I'm gonna just share some funny things. I've never seen, young men being so wasted in their life. But I have to say, the debauchery came from non-Bachelor alumni. Pretty much all Bachelor alumni were behaving themselves. All right, how's that for a political answer? So let's get into this story. Reality Steve's been covering it. Oh, first I wanted to mention today's single mom of the day. We're doing 12 days of gifts. It goes to Cassie and her daughter Chloe. Chloe's Christmas wish list. Single mom here looking for a little help fulfilling my daughter Chloe's Christmas wish list this year. We are so appreciative of anyone who helps. Dave Neal's community is so awesome. Love you guys. Yeah, okay, so people have been asking about shipping and things like that. Some items on Amazon are Prime, which is free shipping. Some aren't. Some people aren't familiar with Amazon. They're like, Dave, is this legit? Yeah. What you do is you click on an item here and it gets sent right to Cassie. She's in Massachusetts. You'll see it in your address. It won't say the full address. You'll know it's to her. And there's different things you can buy. So some very simple gifts, $14, $5 gifts. And if you've got deep pockets and you want to get a bigger gift, get a bigger gift. But hey, a little help with some scrunchies from Dave Neal's community, why not? All right, so let's get back into it. Here's Reality Steve. He did a pretty good job talking to Beth. There's a reason why a lot of people want to go to Reality Steve to have these conversations. I think he gives a voice to people that might have felt like their story's not getting told. So she is here to refute a lot of the things Aaron says. Have a listen.
Aaron and I, like I said, it ended in November. Had not seen him out besides driving around San Diego. We live in close proximity, so it's kind of inevitable to see him just out and about. But I was at a bar with a few of my friends and my roommate around, I would say, early January, like right after New Year's. And I saw him for the first time out. So I was a little anxious. I was a little upset, like feelings are like rushing through. Like I just was really on edge. So I went to the bar and I grabbed myself a drink. And I was with one of my guy friends who is one of my close friends from college. I've known him for years. He always had this opinion on Aaron, just from what other people have said, that he's not a good guy, that he just is not good for me. And he saw how upset I was throughout this whole situation. So it was a predisposed notion. Nothing I said persuaded him to think the way that he did. It was more, hey, I'm upset. Like I need to calm down. So I was getting a drink at the bar. My friend I saw in the corner of my eye walked up to him. And the second I saw that, I ran over to stop because he should have not confronted him. He should have stayed out of the drama. This is between Aaron and I. Nobody else needs to be involved. And he called him a homophobic slur. And I was pissed. I was livid. Aaron shoved him and looked at me.
So here's what went down. Yesterday, Aaron Clancy said, he said that he basically said that Beth called him the homophobic slur. It's important to know the truth, and I guess we will really never know it. But it's still a horrible look if it's one of her friends. I mean, it really, it's messy to be called any names, let alone slurs for people that have been, it should, we've already talked about this yesterday. It shouldn't be a thing where calling someone something based on their sexuality is meant to demean them. Sadly, it is. It's not right.
Goes, go get your boy. And I looked at Aaron and I was like, go get your boy? What does that mean? And then I looked at my friend. I was pissed. I was like, why did you even say that? That is so messed up. Like, what the fuck? And then Aaron walked away. And I felt so horrible because I don't approve of that behavior at all. That is really unnecessary and uncalled for. I apologized to Aaron. I sent him a long text explaining I apologize for my friend's actions. That was not acceptable. That was not okay. I'm going to speak to him about it. And I go, other people's actions should not define who I am as a person. So please don't think poorly about me because of something my friend decided to do as a choice.
Yeah.
And he responded. He said, no worries, all good. Like, shit happens.
All right, so now these text messages are no longer there. She mentions that her text messages are deleted after 30 days, but if Aaron has those text, like if she's lying right now, chances are Aaron could call her on that lie, so I choose to believe her here, but I will say, in some ways, you are defined by your friend's actions, by the company you keep, so it's kind of tough to say. I understand what she's saying, but also it's like, it's a bad look.
Amy after you when it was the other way around. His Tulum trip.
So let me just pause here. So the original story, if you've been covering this, go back if you haven't watched it, was that Reality Steve exposed that he was seeing multiple women before going on the show and one after the show. So what comes down now, the word of the year, is timeline. And he says this girl, we're calling Beth here, B girl, we're saying that Aaron's saying, oh, we were done by January or whatever. So by kind of painting that box there of when he says the relationship ended, she's able to sort of refute that by saying, actually, no, we were still sleeping over each other's house and this and that.
With Amy was in January, and then, remember he said on the podcast, we had the exact words were a blowout fight. We had a couple blowout fights and didn't talk for months. That's when he rekindled with you. But
That's exactly when he reached out to me, actually, because I go, what happened with Amy? And he goes, it's no longer. We got in a fight. We went our separate ways. It was not good.
Okay.
All right, so we're not going to get any receipts here, but as you've seen on realitysteve.com, he's already shared all of the receipts from Beth's side. To Aaron's credit, the A girl A, whatever we're calling her, whatever her name is, this disgruntled Lady A, I'm kidding. Lady A here is either with Aaron or still close friends. So the fact that she has read all the text messages, this is Aaron's greatest defense. The fact that she's read all the text messages and still wants to be with him shows that her side of things, she feels like she's the main one.
Out of town. So it just became one of those things where we're not just friends at this point. You don't treat a friend like that. You don't have sleepovers every single night with a friend. You don't call your friend lovey-dovey names like love and baby and shit like that.
Yeah.
So then March goes on, same thing. We're still hanging out. We're talking. Things are normal. And then I received a job offer to leave in April to go to Europe. And he said he fully supported me. You know, he said, I'm going to be traveling a lot too during that time. Like, we'll be away from each other, but that's okay. Like, when you come back, everything's going to be just fine. We got matching bracelets as, like, remember me, you know, like, always
Cool.
be thinking of me type of situation. And we went our separate ways. I was gone for 2 weeks. He was gone for a couple of weeks. And then I came back at the end of April, and I just knew that something was up. He was not as responsive.
You saw goodbye in his eyes.
I could just tell he was hiding something from me, right?
And
So,
I guess the question would be, when she went abroad, did he take that as a sign that relationship was over? You know, guys, I'm trying my best to see all sides here, but clearly we have a failure to communicate.
well,
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, I mean, there's obviously stuff that went on there, and this, you know, just to be clear, this was a intimate sexual relationship that was happening once you guys restarted in January, right? Correct?
mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. Well, they don't get into the specifics. God knows I don't want to lose my banana here, so let's just say, yeah.
In my life.
When I met Aaron, I had no idea who this person was. This was back in September. He had
By the way, I hate the little stringy parts of the banana that never come peeled down. Do you guys eat that, or do you peel them individually and then they get stuck under your nails?
never mentioned her to me. He had never explained that she was a very near dear friend to him, that she was someone that had been in his life for a long time.
Yeah.
I had no idea who she was. And when we ended in November, I found out through the grapevine, because we have a close friend group in San Diego. People know who he is. People know about our relationship. So, of course, I heard some things. I found out who she was. And then later on, I found out how important she was to him, how their friendship really was. And he was actually dating her in between, as you guys know. from November to January.
Now, yeah, so it could be that Aaron was friends with benefit. Okay, guys, get out your aerobic gear. We're going to stretch some logistics here. It could be, need some X-Files music here. Whenever we have a conditional thought, we need X-Files music. It could be that Aaron was friends with benefits with one, wanted to keep it secret from the other because they were also not official. Now, is this right? No. Is he going to be, imprisoned for leading women on? No. But in his eyes, he might say, I did nothing wrong. I never gave them my pin. I mean, they had sharing bracelets, all that jazz. But obviously, pretty much anybody who's listening to this goes, okay, well, I guess this is one of those situations where when you see where someone else stands, at least with what they think of the relationship, and you realize you're not maybe of high value to them, move on. Just move on.
Do so much better.
Do better.
Teach their own, but I would not want to be with a guy like that after I found that out. So I thought she was going to say, hey, fuck this guy. Whoa. I'm over it. Whoa. As she said in the messages, she doesn't want to speak to him again, except she'll talk to him about where they left off when he gets back from paradise. So I thought she was going to fully end it with him, know her worth, know that she's better than that. And what she did instead was she blocked me on Instagram and pretended like it never happened and continued to stay with him. Hence why she was posting pictures and stories of him getting her roses and them out and about. But I sent Aaron a message while he was filming saying, please never speak to me again. I found out the truth about you. I want nothing to do with you. Basically calling him out on the things that I realized and the things that I heard. And his response to me was a few days later, once he got back from filming, he said that my anger was misplaced and that he was nothing but a good friend to me. And again, Aaron, if you have those messages, gladly share. But I was shocked that he said that he was nothing but a good friend to me, because clearly he doesn't know the definition of a friend versus someone that you are in a relationship with. He really didn't apologize. He didn't own up for his actions. He just said, you need to understand where I'm going through, or what I'm going through and what I feel. And that was kind of it. And I just kept calling him out. I'm like, how dare you? Yeah. I was just so disappointed in him. And the fact that he couldn't even apologize or give a sincere apology or own up to what he did, now I realize that that's who he is.
There it is, folks. There it is. And look, and again, it doesn't mean Aaron isn't going to meet the love of his life and commit fully to it. It just means he wasn't that into you. But it doesn't mean your feelings aren't valid. It means he told you what he needed to say to hook up, to carry on an aspect of a relationship that worked for him, but maybe there was no future. We saw the same thing with other contestants like Nate and other people that have had similar stories. Hey, look, again, I'm not making light of it. I'm just saying, let's call it what it is. Was there some deceitful moment where Aaron was like, oh, wrong one. Was there some deceitful moment where Aaron was like, wrong one, hold on. I'm hitting the wrong buttons here. Was there some deceitful moment where Aaron was like, how can I destroy this woman's life by leading her on? And no, I don't think so. But it doesn't mean that he didn't cause any collateral damage. Let me know what you guys think. I'm going to be live right after this to talk about the Winter Wonderland Ball or whatever the hell I was at last night. And don't forget, link in the comment section if you want to donate to today's Single Mom of the Day. Let's help out our own for the Christmas season. All right, folks, we'll see you in a bit.